What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Financial Times with Ted. Just gonna make sure this live is up and running real quick before I get going. We're gonna be talking about. Here you go. How long will my retirement last me? Traditional IRAs, 401ks versus Roth IRAs, combination of the two, whatnot. So keep in mind, I'm not going to talk about your Social Security income. Not going to talk about inflation. Strictly going to talk about an average rate of return on a set dollar amount, and then how much you'll be withdrawing to live on. And I just picked arbitrary numbers. So I picked $650,000. That's in your 401k or your Roth IRA, your traditional, whatever it may be, 403b. And I took a withdrawal amount of take home amount of 65,000. So I get my trusty calculator out. Let me just make sure I'm adding properly. Apologies, don't need to be staring at my neck. All right, so 85,000. We're going to assume a 25% rate tax bracket. So that's roughly 21,250. So that'll leave you with $63,750. That is a traditional IRA or your 401k. Because you took tax deductions when you were investing, you do not get a tax benefit when you retire. You have to pay those taxes back, and it's going to fit under your current income bracket. So I'm going to assume you're at a 25% income bracket. You might be lower. The odds are in 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you retire, the odds are the bracket will probably be a little bit higher than you're at right now, or hopefully lower. Cross your fingers. But with that being said, $85,000 withdrawal out of a $650,000 account. And then you have to pay taxes on that $85,000. So that would leave you with $63,753. And you would then have $5,312 a month to live on. That's to pay your mortgage note. So don't forget, this doesn't include Social Security. So I'll include the website with the calculator that I'm about to show you. I'll also include the Social Security website, and that way you can see your breakdown as to how much you made every year and how much they're estimating that you're going to get at your first retirement age, or if you wait to hold out to the maximum retirement age. So you can kind of get an idea as to where you stand. So let's see how long this will last us. Let's go ahead and minimize my face. And let's take a look here. So 650K is going to allow you that $5,312 a month when you withdraw $85,000 a year. As you see, I put in an average annual rate, 7.5% return. Your IRA, traditional IRA or 401k, 403b will run out in 12 years. 12 years. So if you retire by 60, your money's gone by the time you're 72, assuming this rate of return. Keep in mind that way you're taking out 85,000. So with that being said, let's take out the money tax free and let's look at a Roth. And let me go back to my Jim. So again, 63,750 is that dollar amount. So let's say you just took that dollar amount out because it's coming out tax free. Your Roth is going to last you 21 years. We all see that? So the fact that the Roth is, you don't need to overestimate for taxes because you did not get a tax benefit in the Roth. So all the dividends that you're making on a 7.5% annual return is going to be 21 years. That's the best part until depletion. Let's say you make 20 grand a year in Social Security, and this is all you need to withdraw. So all right, cool. So if you make 20 grand in Social Security after taxes and everything, you would only need to withdraw 43,000. So let's do the comparison on, if you put in your, I don't know, I said I wasn't going to do your Social Security, but this is an eye opener. So you would only have to withdraw 43,750 a year to make that $63,750 mark. Your account is going to last you over 1,000 years. Do we see that? Y'all see that? 1,000 years. You'll never deplete that account. If you're able to take 20 grand a year from Social Security, and this is a Roth, this is not, again, keep in mind, it says 401k calculator, 401k drawdown calculator. I'm going back and just taking out the taxes because you don't have to take taxes out of a Roth IRA. Your Roth IRA would last 1,000 years per this calculator at an annual rate of 7.5% return. Now, if you follow my Escape the Rat Race, Retire Comfortably videos, my live series, you'll notice that a lot of the dividends I talk about give an annual return way over 7.5% in terms of dividends. So let's say if you invested in the S&P 500 in half of your account and the other half of the account were dividend funds, you very well could be looking at an 18% annual return. Roth IRAs is how you generate generational wealth. That's how you pass things down to your children. And this is how you live comfortably throughout retirement. I'm not saying don't invest in a 401k because they have their benefits. Benefit number one, I owed a lot of money in taxes this year. It was in the 5-figure range. I invested everything into a Roth this year, so I couldn't put it into my traditional. But I had a W-2 job at that point, and I invested some of that, and it drove my taxable income down, and I saved around $3 grand. So it was $3 grand I didn't have to pay to the government, and it was $3 grand I can keep to myself. So the 401k does have its benefits, especially if you owe a lot of taxes. However, once you get into the arena of owing a lot of taxes, you should be looking into buying real estate because those have heavy tax deductions. So how long will your retirement last? 1,000 years if you're looking at a Roth. And what did we say? 12 years if we were looking at a traditional IRA. Yeah, 12 years. So your money's gone in 12 years if you only have money in a traditional IRA of $650,000 and you need $63,750 a year. So let's do it. Let's be fair and let's go back to the traditional IRA. So again, your money's gone by the time you're 72 if you're retiring at 60. But let's go back to the traditional IRA and let's say you got 20 grand in Social Security. All right, let's be fair and let's add that money in there. So let's subtract $20,000 off this 85,000. So that means you would only have to withdraw 65,000. It's a much nicer number, as you can see. 20% or 20 years. So you turn 60, instead of the account lasting till you're 75 or 72, it'll now last till you're 80. I don't know about y'all, but I have grandparents that lasted way beyond their 80s. I got a buddy that his dad's 97 years old right now. Like, I don't know about you, but I want my money to last as long as possible. So again, the 401k has its benefits. The traditional IRA has its benefits, but nothing beats a Roth when it comes to retirement. If you can get it now, and don't forget, there on one of my prior videos, I told you there's a 5-year waiting period. You have to open that account today and have it open for 5 years in order to get those benefits long run once you retire. So with that being said, just make sure you if you don't have a Roth open it today. Even if you don't fund it, open it today. Get in there, do your 401k at your job, but max out that $7,500 a year in the Roth. Start to put it into dividend funds. Follow my Escape the Rat Race, retire comfortably, if not early, and then you can easily see how you could help your money last hundreds of years and pass it on to your children. And the one thing I advise everyone to do is open up a trust. Don't allow the account to just go taxed into probate. Open up a trust so it goes into the trust and then gets allocated from there. So I hope this was educational for you. By all means, shoot a message below. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. But this is how to escape the rat race, how to retire comfortably, if not early. And obviously, you can see the traditional versus the Roth. It'll last you years and years and years and years beyond what you need it to last, especially if you're only investing in an S&P 500 account or index funds that are returning, 6 to 7.5% a year. So keep that in mind. All right. Hope y'all are doing good. Financial Times with Ted. Y'all be good. Take care.